Good morning, good morning. Hi, Joan. How are you? Hopping on for day 5 here. See who's on. There's 5 of you on already. Yay! Hi, Drista. Hi, Barb. Joan is on. Good. Yes, prize patrol for today's giveaway. Okay, this is our last day for our week-long lives. Good morning, Rochelle. Yay, you made it. Yay. Yep. So we have a few housekeeping items, and then we'll jump right into it. First of all, yesterday's winner of these spring little puffy things, Softest Spring Mix and Match Puffy Stickers, is Deb Mackey. I think that's how you say it, Deb. Hi, Margie. Deborah Mackey. So there we go. And today I'm giving away this Unforgettable Times Mix and Match Specialty Ephemera Pack. So these are all new products that are in the mini catalog. So I will actually post those winners on Monday. I'm going to do a post with the winners, and then I'm going to show you what the grand prize is, okay? So hold on. Stop. The grand prize winner will be getting the Lots to Love kit. It's a brand new card kit. It's one of January's card kits. So the grand prize. So in order to get in for the drawing for this, you need to have shown up every day, commented, and liked and shared. Okay. So you will get this brand new Lots to Love card kits. Just ready for spring. It's not a Valentine kit. It's a springy kit. Okay. All right. So, and then I did get my shipment yesterday. So I did get January's product of the month is this fabulous Saying stamp set. And it is a pretty cool stamp set. So with the $75 order, you can get this for $5. So I'll be showing you some cards with this next week. I just didn't get a chance to play with it because it came yesterday. All right, so little housekeeping items. Bonus days are still going on, so for every $50 you spend in January, you get a coupon, a $5 coupon. Thanks, Joan. A $5 coupon to use in February. My March retreat is extended till next week on the 21st. The registration closes for that. That is in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, so you can join me for a full weekend. You can be a commuter, so if you live close enough, you don't need to stay there. You can go back and forth as you wish. And then we have Saturday only and to-go options. So that is open until the 21st. My Made with Love Valentine class is open until the 22nd. So this is the Fun Fold Valentine class. So you would get supplies. No stamping will be done. So if you have another Valentine stamp or another stamp, that would be great. Or you can order this one, Made with Love bundle. So you will get instructions, PDF instructions. You'll get a card kit with supplies to make 8 of these. You get a half a pack of the DSP. You get a ribbon, and you get the little fun assortments. So yeah, so these are the cards. And I showed you those, I think, on Tuesday. But they're cute. I really like them. So there we go. And then I do have Just Cards ready. So this is my Just Cards class. So this is my class here in the studio. And this class is Monday the 26th. So you get to make one of each of these. And I am finishing up my stack. I always offer 2 classes here in studio. You can take one or both at that session. And there's 2 sessions, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. So it's Just Cards and Stamp Stack. Okay, I have one vellum technique I'm going to show you today, but I'm going to do 2 cards, 1 technique. And I'm digging through the archives to find some other techniques because it's been a little while since I played with vellum, but I have another idea for next week. So next week I will be live on Tuesday and Thursday at 10. Okay, let's get started with the first project. We're using the Lovely Arrangements bundle that is an online exclusive. So I wanted to share that with you, and this is the card. I'm going to turn off my other phone because I'm getting calls. Okay, all right, the base of this is cloud cover, 5.5 by 8.5. I do have a bone folder somewhere around here. I don't know. Here it is. Stamp with Connie bone folder. There we go. Give you a nice crease there. Then we have a piece of the DSP. I'm going to layer that there. And I took another piece of the DSP and I cut it out with that fun die. There's a couple background dies. Yes, I love this sweet too, Rochelle. I didn't at first. It wasn't the one on my radar. In fact, I thought I kind of ordered it by mistake because I thought I had ordered the one that's in the catalog. So we could either do it that way. Let's do this one this way because I did that one with the floral. I want to see what it looks like with the flip side of the DSP. Then we can decide. But I do. In fact, we're going to be playing with the suite for stack. For my Stamp-A-Stack here in the studio. Is what we're going to use this one for. And there we go. So I'm just going to layer that right there like that. And then, of course, this is one of the tags. I embossed this ahead of time with the white embossing. And then I cut out some leaves using Granny Apple Green scraps. And then I did stamp the flowers with Versamark and white embossing powder, and then I cut them out. Now this particular technique is called stained glass. So we're just going to lay this here. I'm going to bring in that red scrap paper. Maybe that'll help a little bit. So I'm going to leave there, and then whenever you color, I'm coloring on the back with a blend. So this is called the stained glass technique. And whenever you want to color on vellum, you always have to color darker than you maybe would normally if you were coloring on the front side. But if you're coloring on the back side, you want to color darker. Cloud cover for this, and I'm using the dark cloud cover. And I actually am going to go over it a couple times because even the dark cloud cover isn't very dark. But next week, I'm going to tell you the technique I'm perfecting next week with vellum. It's called double stamping. I just could not find the stamp set that I've been thinking about it, and I've been looking, and I'm going to figure out what stamp set would work better for that technique. So here we go. Now I'm going to show you this. This is just one time because it's pretty light. So I'm going to color them again, go over it again just to make it just a little darker because this is the dark cloud cover blend. Actually, I don't need that one. So hopefully I won't need it for the other one. We'll figure it out. Maybe I brought some over. Anyway, so there we go. I'm only using that little flower. Let's bring in the card and our leaves again. You love the new technique. Well, thanks, Margie. It's actually an old technique that I just remembered. But the new, you're talking about the double stamping on vellum. Because that one I've never done before. And of course, you know, you can run vellum through a folder, and that looks pretty cool too. We did that. I'll have to see if I can find the card. I did that recently. Okay, I'm just going to add some greens here and one here. Oh, I didn't pop that up yet. Wow. Getting ahead of myself. And the thing about vellum is so tricky because you can always see, you forget about it. Well, we didn't have it for a while, Deborah. They actually took it out of the line. And they just brought it back not too long ago. I actually hoarded it when they discontinued it. So I had some here, but now the way we used to sell it was in 8.5 by 11 sheets, but now these are 12 by 12s. So they're great just to soften up a background paper. So if you have a piece of background paper that's sort of busy, you can put a piece of vellum over it just to make it softer. I'm going to see if I can find some samples that I did. I did a few pieces with it. So we're just going to stick this one right here. Like that. And then I'm going to add some gems. That looks kind of silly. Let's just stick it right there like that. Okay, let's add some of these gems. We'll get my take my pick tool out of here, and then we'll just pull some gems off of here. I need to get some putty up there. There we go. There we go. All right, so that's our first project. So you can tell me which one you like better. If you like the flips, which side of the DSP you like better. Do you like the petal pink or do you like the more floral side? I'm going to show you those right there. You've never seen the stained glass. All right, guys. I'm glad I'm teaching you something new. And you know what? I think I did. We're going to recolor that. No problem. Okay, here's the next one. Same technique. Same stamp set, just a different layout. Okay, so the base of this is, you like the petal pink. Yeah, I thought too. The base of this is crumb cake, 5.5 by 8.5. Then I have a piece of the DSP at 5.25 by 4. Then I have the flip side of the DSP, and I just made it a little smaller. So this is the same pattern. I just flipped it over. Same piece, different pattern. And then I use, once again, I use that background that's in that, which I think is pretty cool. There is another one too. I should pull that out and use it as well. I'm going to add that to the card. Okay, now I did color this one cover, and I probably shouldn't have, but you know what? I'm going to go over it with Secret Sea. And this time, the Secret Sea one I'm using is a lighter one, just because the dark is really dark. So you have to kind of fool around with your markers. Like if it's a really light marker, you will want to go with, like if I was doing these in petal pink, I would use the dark petal pink and probably go over it a lot of times. But because Secret Sea is so dark, I'm going to use the light one, not the dark one. Because the light one is dark enough. So you just want to color on the flip side. And I've embossed this so that the front side is actually raised. The back side isn't. So there you go. So you can see that, how it looks different when it's a darker color. I don't know, I'm going to go over it. This one might be a little darker. And you don't have to be meticulous. Like, you can pretend you're in kindergarten again. You don't have to, if you can do that. Some people can't do that. Okay, just a little darker. There we go. Let me turn. Okay. All right, now let's put our card together. I am going to put a dimensional on the back of these. Hopefully they won't see, it won't show through as long as it's on the center, because that center is really a solid image. Okay. And then I stamped this ahead of time and cut it out because it's such a tiny piece. Normally I would just cut it out and stamp, but this time I stamped and then cut them out because it's really tricky to get that stamped. Okay, I did cut out some leaves with cloud cover scraps. I didn't know what I was saying there for a minute. You know what? I want to put this, hold on. There we go. Now hopefully I didn't stick these, there we go. I'm gonna stick these right here. That is really sticking. It'll work. We'll make it work. It's gotta work. It's sticking to my finger. Let's just put it down quick. This tape is really sticky today. Normally it's not. We'll fix it. I will fix that later. Pretend you didn't see that. There we go. We need to pop this one up. This one isn't even popped up. I just stuck it down there because that tape is driving me nuts. There we go. I'm going to try to move it. There. I don't have to add another leaf because I really mangled this one up. It happens. Maybe get rid of that piece. Make it look a little better. There we go. All right, let's put some tiny dimensionals on the back of this. I thought I had some tiny ones. What happens is when I want tiny ones, they're not here. But when I want the bigger ones, all I can find is tiny. The minis. I found some, just the edges of the minis. I have a drawer full of edges. I do use them. I try not to put them out for classes. I like to use them for my personal use. Card is very different. Yeah. Hopefully it's a good different. These fit perfectly on this little strip. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm just gonna tuck this right here. So there you go. Let's add some gems. I'm going to use the lighter color gems because I'm going to go here on the darker paper. And there we go. All done. All done. Let me bring those both in so you can see them. Good. It's a good different. Yes. Okay, there we go. So this was today's projects. I want to see if I have any others. I really love this set. As you can tell, we did a lot with it this week. Let me show you. Or maybe I did some of these last week. I don't know. This one was just a vellum overlay. Remember that? I just overlaid that vellum there. And then, of course, I did this one. I already showed you those two. And then this one, these two. So that's just like that one whole bundle suite. That's kind of cool. There we go. So many cards you can make with just that one bundle. And some of these aren't even stamped. Like this is actually from the DSP. So, yeah, you'll have to get it, Pat, because it's a great one. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for joining me. Remember my Valentine class. This is the Fun Fold class. Registration for this closes next week on the 22nd. I'm ordering everything on the 23rd. These are all going to be ready so that when the supplies come in, we're just going to ship them so you can get these done before Valentine's Day to send them out. Oh, this is a vellum technique too. This one I just ran through the folder, piece of vellum. And then of course this one fold here. There we go. All right, I have a whole stack of cards that we did this week. Well, guys, thank you for joining me this week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Come back on Tuesday for some more fun stuff. And remember that I wanted to show you that again, this really great greeting set. I've been wanting a really good greeting set, and this one actually is the product of the month for January. So with a $75 order, You can get this for $5 for January only until it's for and it's while supplies last. So if they sell all of them, then they're gone. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Have a great week.